style live stream. Today we are going to be working on that suede vest that Freya wears underneath the burlap looking vest with the macrame on it. And today's tutorial is going to be how to create a pattern using an existing article of clothing. So I took this t-shirt, which is like a big baggy pajama t-shirt that I wear, and it fits me in a way similar to how I want that vest of Freya's to fit. So I think this is going to be a good start for the pattern. So what you want to do is very, very carefully, you're going to fold your t-shirt in half, or your article of clothing, whatever it happens to be. You're going to fold it in half, making sure everything lines up really nicely, and you're going to put it down on some wax paper. I have already done that. Next, you're going to trace around it. You want to be careful that you don't actually touch your article of clothing, especially if you are using a permanent marker like I am. Now, I don't need the sleeves, so I'm actually going to fold them in and try to go around where they should be. And then I'm going to go down the sides here. I'm actually going to make this straight. I know it's not on my t-shirt, but it's supposed to be nice and baggy and flowy, so I'm going to make it straight. I did not do a good job at picking out the size of my wax paper, so it's like really close to not fitting. So I got to be very careful about how I do this. And I'm also folding it in to get the neckline as well. Okay, so once you're finished, I'm going to cap this so I don't get glue all over my pajama top. This is like my favorite pajama top. It's how to create an alien. Step 1, acquire an alien egg. Step 2, let the spider crawly thingy shove that egg into your stomach or esophagus, wherever it goes. I have somehow managed to lose my scissors yet again. Like, I just had them last week. I don't know what happened to them. I was looking all over for them earlier. So I'm going to be using these scissors over here. These are paper scissors, and since I'm cutting out paper, it kind of works. I gotta bring up my dashboard here. Alright, so I'm going to cut it out exactly how it is, only because I did not use enough paper. You do still need to add a seam allowance to this, like we did last week. So I'm actually just going to have to add that when I'm cutting out the pattern. These scissors are so fun. They're so tiny and have all this to cut out. At least they're super sharp, so I can cut really fast. Alright, so there's my base pattern. Now, this for me is a excuse me. This for me is a stash challenge. I am only using the supplies that I have in my cosplay stash. I am not buying anything. I don't have a whole lot of brown, of this light brown suede. So I am actually only going to make the front of the vest, and I'm going to sew it into the burlap vest that goes over top of it. This vest is shorter than the burlap one, therefore you'll never see the back of it anyway. I'm going to set this aside for right now. If you would like to make the whole vest, this is going to work for your front. And then for your back, you would just minimize this neck curve here. Minimize this a little bit to like up here. And put this straight edge here along the fold and cut it off along the fold, and that'll give you the back piece. Alright, I'm going to get my light tan suede. Oh no! Well, I'm not going to be able to make it as long as I wanted to because I'm out of, I don't have enough of this material. So mine's going to be a little short. How much? Alright, I'm going to use my pattern to kind of test. Alright, I think that'll be good. This pattern actually comes down really far. So if I don't get it all, I think that's fine. What did that? Oh, I do know what I did with that. Give me just a moment. I have to go get, well, I don't need to really pin this. Let's just use weights. I'm just going to use random stuff that I have lying around here for weights. Don't forget to add your seam allowance. Either you do it before you cut it out or do it when you're cutting it out. There's certain parts I'm not adding seam allowance to, but the rest of it I am adding seam allowance. Alright, and that is your piece. Now, I said if you're doing the back, what you would do next is you would put your front pieces here. Face up, how they're gonna go. So they're like this. And then you would take your back piece and you'd put it on top of this with the front, or, you know, the face of the material that you want showing on top of this. And you'd pin across the shoulders here and down the sides. And then you would sew those and then you would try it on. What I am going to do is pin this to my dress form. Alright, now I'm going to move this camera so you guys can see. So I've got it pinned to the dress form. The back is open. Now I'm going to put my burlap over top. And as you can see, the burlap is longer than it is, so what I'm going to do now is pin it to the burlap so that I can sew it into the burlap. I'm going to start with the shoulders. And let's do this side. Making sure it's nice and even. Okay, so now I'm just kind of checking to make sure that everything's lying semi-even. I can trim this up, so it doesn't need to be perfect, but it looks pretty good. So now I'm going to sew the shoulders on. Since it's a quick seam, I'm not going to turn the whole camera setup around so that you can see that. I'm just going to sew quickly across the shoulders so that I'm attaching the suede to the burlap. Hey Ollie, how are you? I'm doing well. Little one's also doing well. He's at daycare today. I have one shoulder done. Your little one sleeps. I always stream during his nap time. Alright, one shoulder done. Let's work on this other one. I'm sure you're fine. Like, you've sent me videos. I know you're a fine singer. I think with parenting, doing your best is really all that matters. I mean, unless your best is like really, really bad. But like most people's best is good. Alright, the shoulders are done. Y'all finished. So I'm going to put this back on. Alright, and now I'm going to repin at the side seams. This time being careful not to pin into my mannequin. Okay, so there's one side that looks pretty good. Let's pin this side over here. I almost dropped that pin. Alright, let's see if I like how that looks. Yeah, I feel like that looks pretty good. Alright, this time I am going to turn the camera, so shaky cam, because I'm going to be fiddling with this for a little bit. I pinned it, but I didn't pin it where I want to sew it, so now I have to go through and repin it across the seam that I want to sew. It's a persistent cough today. Oh, thank you. What did I do with the... Oh, there they are. Okay, so now that I've transferred my pins to where I'm actually going to sew them, I can sew this seam up. Okay, that seam is finished. I'm going to turn this around and do the other side. Okay, and now I have that pinned along the seam. I'm going to move these loose needles back to my dress form. And I'm going to sew up the seam. Transfer my pins. And now I'm going to transfer the vest. And turn, y'all. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. Obviously, it's not how it's supposed to look. Now again, this is a stash challenge, so like there's definitely not enough burlap. The burlap does not come down as far as it should. So I'm just kind of gonna attempt to make this bottom look more like it's supposed to. It's kind of a cruddy looking bottom. It's not nicely hemmed or anything like that. So that's kind of the look I'm going for. Go. This uneven, jagged little hem. Alright, so now that looks good here, I'm going to trim up the armholes because I don't want this fabric peeking out of the armholes. Alright. Trim up this armhole. We have some extra strings over here. Okay, so that's what I have right now. So now I'm going to try it on me to make sure that it fits properly. And then it ties around here. Awesome, looks pretty good. I mean, it looks good in the camera anyway. This is going to belt across here, and that'll help kind of keep it how it's supposed to look a little bit better. And the macrame that I have on this, I don't have attached here yet. I'm still working on that macrame. It's kind of slow going. It's just time consuming, like really, really time consuming. I can go get it from the other room and like pin it on here, what I have, so y'all can see like what I have so far. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Excuse me. Here is the macrame. Right, that's a front. Right, here's the back. Grab some pins here and go ahead and pin this where it goes. Alright, so there's the macrame on the back. And then I only have one panel for the front macrame done. I haven't done the other side yet. And there's the one in the front. Alright, bye Ollie, thanks for joining. Okay. So that's kind of what it looks like. Hi, my name is Anna. I am making Freya from God of War 4. It's not even remotely screen accurate because I'm doing a stash challenge, so I'm only using things that are available in my cosplay supplies. And then this will go something like that ish, kind of, and then get wrapped in some coil stuff. It's actually too big. So on this vest, I have this second piece of macrame for over here that I need to do. I need to attach this piece. I think I'm going to go ahead and start trying to do that because once I get a pattern for that, that'd be nice. So I just kind of cut two giant rectangles, and I'm just like, okay, if I fold it in half, it's still too big, so I can go ahead and cut this in half. It's my thought process. That looks better. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, I can't hum this, damn it. I have to re-thread my machine because I'm using black right now. That's okay, I can pin it and then I can sew it up later. Let me check this width. Yes, looks good. Now, length. That looks pretty good. Clean up the corners, and then I'll have to do the leather string bits that get tied around there before I sew that all on, but otherwise, like, that looks pretty good. button. Awesome. Okay, so that's basically all I had planned for this stream, was to make this suede vest. Since that is made and finished, I am going to go ahead and end this stream, and this video will be available on my YouTube channel, as all my tutorial streams are. And next week, I'm going to try to finish up this vest in between time. Like, I'll probably work on this after the stream. Go ahead and finish with the macrame and get these done. Then next week we can maybe make the pants, and for the pants I was going to find a pattern that looks appropriate-ish for it, and then go ahead and make the pants using a pattern. And then the next tutorial stream will be how to sew using a pattern, where I can kind of walk you through all of the instructions that are on a sewing panel. So that'll be next week. Tuesday at 1 o'clock, unless something happens between then and now that makes it so I can't do my stream. If for some reason I can't do the stream, I'll post it on Instagram that I'm not doing the stream. I'll also post on Instagram that I am doing the stream, so following my Instagram is probably a good idea. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I can't wink it. That was awful. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, so thank you for joining me for today's stream, and be sure to check out my YouTube for all of the videos and stuff from this, since they fall off of Twitch. So, bye.